Estoy bien, salgo.
Going into week 4, we face Radiance, and they are a pretty good team. We screened them a lot since before even we came here. So yeah, we know them a lot, and we thought it gonna be like a good matches. In game 1 was like, was a pretty good game. We like start like farming like we usually do, and then we go like a huge team fight. I think at the Gold Fury we became up top. Then when we have to siege, I think it was the issue because like I don't know, it's hard. To siege, and we were barely ready for that, and think that trying to siege, that what cost us that game 1.
Salgo. Voy a hacer tiempo. Sal. Me siguen, sí.
Tío, Orgus.
Sí, lo
¿Viste
sigue.
el Orgus? ¿Y puede salir?
Ah, está muerto.
¿Cómo se está tomando derecha? Y yo le pegué todo.
Tú también.
No, ahí nuestro hijo está bien y pudieron haber seguido peleando con él.
Sí.
Tranquilo, me puedo con un running, baby.
Están roteados. Lo tunearon, I'm fine. Atrás de ti.
Tiene todo.
Está muerto.
No, está ahí ya.
Sí.
Un Forge.
Tiene que morir con activo, cuando estamos ganando la puta partida. In game 2, I think everything changed because we like reset our mindsets and says like we have a game plan for that, and that is why I play Mulan and just play off myself the map and just stomp that in like a 28-minute game. I think.
I think our there's a true cycling went off the bar. Metroid has to leads the way for Cataclysm, but there's a third ultimate that Metroid still has to deal with, and somehow he's living with all over. He's killing the big deal over his right. Anatom rotates over to left, and they punish the gap. What a play from Sanguine across the map to survive it all. Him and Sanguine continue to threaten mid and left.
He got separated early and often, and it still worked well for Sanguine. Left side just a dual lane trying to get it done, and he gets good damage off the knowledge.
Very nearly get the kill into Aurora. They're off the mark but I don't think they'll do so as he heads back over towards the FG. No, they want the fight instead. It's already kicking off, and low in the back is Aurora. He'll drop early on. Panatom has right to the back line. Look for Team Benji. That's a trade. They're happy to make a double kill for adapting, but Benji now in some trouble as Metroid split up Radiance's defense. Meanwhile, the other 4 members threaten mid. There's the Darwin Pillars around the Phoenix to try and zone out all of Radiance, and Aurora dies almost immediately. He really just can't afford too much at this point. Benji does find the stun, but the silence is there, and it limits his options. Panatom goes up, and he's been dunking on low HP targets all game. Don't even need him for this one, as Shinto completes the kill. He hammers over towards adapting.
¡El rey lesión! ¡Sigue! Nice. In the game, bro. Pero se ganó el game 1, dude. Bueno, abierto.
Qué manco son.
And in game 3, it was so different. Like they changed the draft, they banned one of my favorite picks, and then just pressured me all the game, and my team couldn't do anything on their side. So we kinda can't recover for all the pressure that they have. So.
Déjame vender. La serie que es low. Nice.
¡El Ra!
Le metí el low al Ra, Ra está en el low. Nice, tú, ahí.
Careful, mira, acabo de editar.
Sí, está. No, acá están los 4.
Tengo que ver
Tengo Hammer en 6, tengo Hammer en 6,
Mira, el capacita, mira.
Tengo Hammer en 6, tengo Hammer en 3, tengo Hammer en 2, están acá. ¿Por qué quieren hacer esto?
Estoy yendo.
Tenía Humbats. I'm fucking dead, bro.
Pega el Ra, pide el Ra.
No tiene raíz, Ra, no tiene guerra, no tiene guerra. Está muerto, Ra.
No detrás.
Sì, tiraron. Vita c'erano.
Ahí lo no. Si no se hubieran hecho ese fire, yo creo que no hubiéramos pegado esta vez.
Está bien.
Porque está bien, ¿qué, amigo? What? Dime.
Está bien.
No creo, o sea, no sé en qué punto se hicieron fire. Y no creo que se hicieron fire con mi piqueado, yo salí y el fire no estaba ahí. También se hicieron una gol y eso fue mucho antes de mi piqueado también, by the way. O sea,
I think that the main takeaways we need to learn is that all the games is gonna be hard, I think, for us, because we need to be more consistent. I think in every one of us need to be more consistent. So when we finally reach that point, I think we're going to be like unbeatable. So need to like aim for that.
Vaya.
Eres una uni, por fire.
Entonces ya deja de excusarte, no fue eso. No
Tampoco fue por el piqueo, porque no se hicieron fire. Así que tampoco digas eso. Paso voy.
Usamos pique, no fueron empates, creo.
So yeah, I think they're gonna be like, I thought before that they were a good team, to be honest. I mean, I thought Dookie is pretty good top laner and Wolfie is a pretty good mid laner too. And yeah, I mean the whole team I think is pretty good, and they have like a new player as it comes to the, like, good idea, good decision, like gonna for sure change the whole mechanic of how Ove was working. So yeah, Ove was pretty strong in our set. In game one, I think I wasn't playing like I should play every single game. Like, we give them a lot of freedom, I think, to like make whatever they want to with what they draft. And I think game one cost us like a pretty bad decision when we like take a path into blue buff in the jungle, I think. Then we go like wipe out and they just did it and then we lose.
So it's left lane or bust. Inbound has moved himself in and disarmed a couple. Ducky and Sino, they follow up, and that's a big Sentinel of Zeus that crashes down. Netrioid is so low, and Wolfie, he'll finish him off. Yarkor takes a seat as well. 3 members left of Sanguine, Mifflin.
They're going for the end?
Here we go. Titan started up by Sanguine. In goes Panatom and Wrongyu, but I don't think it's enough, Mifflin. Panatom is half HP. Wrongyu is stunned down and taken down. Ducky rips through on a killing spree, and Panatom and Shinta will do their best to survive. It's not gonna matter. Sino, welcome back to the SPL. Obey will find their first game win.
And in the second game, it was so different because like I tried like to step up and try to be as aggressive as I can and give them like a lot of solo lane pressure, right? I mean, my team is like used to like to play around that, like so. And in game 3, we thought that we could do the same draft that we are making and let them like pick whatever they pick. But I mean, I think that they just play better and we just play poorly. So I think that is the result that we get from that. But I think that it was a hard loss for us because we were pretty confident. I mean, we give everything a lot of respect because I mean we're the Rockies here, so we're the new blood of the league.
Inbound with the assist of the FG will lose.
Team fights, Obey have been able to open up the map, open up these objectives. This is a different team. Ronkyu's so far forward.
And Sino will jump in to try to find the engagement here. Wrongyu is trying to retreat back to his team. This is maybe the fight that Obey have been looking for. Sino will put down Wrongyu. Into the backline goes Panatom, but the peel is there. It's a double kill from Sino. It's a split on the carries from Sanguine. Yarkor will fall. They may have lost an Obey. It looks like they found their first win in the SPL.
First win against Sanguine? unthinkable for Obey, but now Netrio and falls well.
Se hicieron un fire. Lo pudimos revivir a Hardcore, I guess. No recuerdo qué pasó en esa partida, la verdad.
A lo mejor ya te
No solo eso, sino que el Hardcore hace muy buen espacio, pero ¿sabes cuál es el problema?
Pero es que ya lo he dicho miles de veces, güey. Nosotros tres que estamos en línea, güey, no es nuestro trabajo hacer eso, güey.
¿Qué cosa?
O sea, hacer el espacio, güey, hacer la jugada, ir a proponer los bufos, güey, es de
pero
ellos
lo que
todos,
voy-
güey.
lo que voy a hacer
Es
es
por
que
eso yo
las
lo que
teamfights,
digo, güey.
Alright, primero y segundo. Just like so.
Yeah,
So you say
Right.
saying that farming's the issue, that everyone was just farming too much. You want to fight?
No.
So, because of the loss against Obey, even though they are technically last seeded, with their roster swaps and the way they were playing, I don't think that they are going to be playing at last seed. At least it brings their skill level up a little bit. And that they will be able to compete against other teams a little bit more easily, I think. Maybe not taking wins off, but taking maps for sure. I think that's a possibility. We were just caught off guard by what was happening, and it definitely had a big impact on the team's morale over the past week. But we've been working on how they can go ahead and prepare for these matchups and their mindsets going into each of these, and how they should address being ready for the week in these matches and during practice. As with any team, there are problems with kind of team cohesion, and it's hard finding that balance. Some players might not have felt as committed for some reason, whether it be boredom, kind of a sense of not belonging, or if they're homesick or sick from not being able to see a significant other. Things like that can kind of factor into it. So I think that kind of built up over the past 5 weeks, and this last week we were able to kind of go ahead and break it down and make sure that everyone's on the same page going into this coming week, a lot more revitalized and feeling like we are a lot more prepared for what is to come, especially towards the latter half of Phase 1. So to fix the problems, I have been sitting down with the guys during scrims and seeing what they need to address specifically with each other. I don't want to be the one to solve the problems for them. I want them to figure out their problems and then be able to solve themselves. That's part of being a team and being able to talk to each other about open communication and how they can go ahead and problem solve with things inside and outside of the game. I'm very confident for the rest of the split. I think we're going to do really well. There are definitely the bottom side of the brackets starting to go ahead and make their way up. I think that a lot of other teams are starting to mesh and perform a lot better, so that'll be a lot bigger competition for us. But that only means that it'll help us improve even more and become a much stronger team altogether going into mid-season and later into Phase 2. So I am not too concerned about our performances. Plus, Phase 1 is mostly since it's the start of the season, it's kind of the building blocks and the testing ground for all the teams within the league and whether or not the rosters are working well. So I feel confident going into mid-season for the rest of this split.